book before I go. And then one of the things I do when I travel is I work on my journal. So this is my journal from Japan. And it's not entirely blank. I paint the pages whatever color I decide. So this one, for some reason, I thought of Japan as pink and green, which it wasn't, not surprisingly. It's just like LA. But I build, as the days go on, I collect. I'm not a big shopper. I don't buy a lot of stuff, but I buy myself presents for my journal. So the very first day we were in this department store, and we had this great, stamp department in this department store where things I'm sure were outrageously expensive. And then they had this huge bag for $5 of stamps that they couldn't imagine why I wanted. And I'm jumping up and down. I'm so excited. And and I carry around a digital camera, and this is one of my favorite journal supplies, this Pogo printer, which is a Polaroid printer, and it's a travel printer. So, and it spits out these little journal size photos, and they're stickers, which makes them even better. So, and then it just gives me, so you're in a city, you get the subway maps, you're in Kyoto, and you've got the maps of you're going to all these amazing historic sites, and the materials they give you, there's maps of them, and there's, the tickets sometimes are really beautiful. Sometimes they have meaning. We were at the Golden Temple. Let's see, I don't even know where it is. I think this is after my son joined us. At the Golden Temple, they give you, I think these are fortunes. The tickets have special messages for you. And how could you not want to save them? And and you save them and you don't know what to do with them. But if you keep a journal, you have the perfect thing to do.
And this writing that you're doing, is it descriptive of what's happening, or is it?
It's all kinds of things. So sometimes, yes, sometimes it's very descriptive of what's going on that day. So actually this day, we met this lovely woman who practices her English by attacking tourists at the Golden Temple and she's become an expert on the Golden Temple, and she takes tourists on. So this is, I'm totally American. Someone comes up to me and says, do you speak English, and can I take you on a tour? My first response is, what do you want? So I journal about that. I journal the details. This day also happened to be my birthday, and just people kept giving me gifts that day. It was the weirdest thing. We were in an art store, and I looked at some piece, and I said, is that for sale? And she's like, no. And I was like, oh, well. And then she hands it to me. It was just all this random. We were in this art gallery where they had these really beautiful wood cut things. I bought these envelopes, and she handed me a postcard because we were talking about woodblock cuts and how much I love them. And here's a little vintage woodblock envelope that we bought at this vintage store. Actually, a vintage woodblock store.
Beautiful.
And then sometimes, the last page of my journal is I stick notes. So my son was already there when we got there, so this is where we were meeting him. And my favorite pen ran out of ink, so I'm writing down the details so that when I get home I can look it up. And then if I'm shopping for art supplies, especially, make it sound like I go to Japan all the time. A lot of pens won't work on the acrylic paint, so I'll take my journal or something else in with me into an art supply store, and I'll go to the last page of my journal and I'll try them, and you can kind of see, and then I rub on them. And sometimes it doesn't, they rub off. And then you're like, okay, I'm not buying that pen. So, and then by the end, it's the last day you're gluing things in and not necessarily writing things. So I still have catch up to do, but sometimes I never finish.
It's great.
Thank you. So I have a whole basket of my travel journals in the other room. And then someone says, a friend of mine's going to New York next week, and she's never been to New York. So I can pull out all my New York journals, and it's got, where we eat, what things I've done, things that are fun, galleries I like. And it's just a good way of recording that stuff. And it's fun. It keeps me engaged. Sure. Keeps me off my husband's back.
All right. Well, thanks, Kara.
Thank you.